Welcome back, America. We're here with our friend Joe Concha. Joe, this Epstein matter goes on and on and on, and we're always told, oh, there's a smoking gun. There's no smoking gun. The Democrats had this for years. Justice Department under the Democrats, they did nothing. Then they do what they normally do, which is deceive the American people, release a few emails with a redaction that seems to create an impression that is a lie. Then the Republicans and the president release everything, and people are pouring through it. It's just a nothing. It's just a joke. And meanwhile, the greatest attack on our republic, really, that the Biden regime and the Democrats have, with their prosecutors and FBI agents and all the rest that I just discussed during my monologue here, it's Joe ho-hum, and they move on. What do you make of all this?
Well, first, that was an awesome monologue, and I'll touch on Arctic frost in a moment, but let's talk about Epstein, right? You mentioned and gave numerous examples of the weaponization of our justice system, particularly during the Biden years. And here's what we know. If there was a smoking gun against Donald Trump regarding Epstein, who out there? There isn't a person on the planet that does not believe that either the Obama administration or the Biden administration, when they had full power of the Congress and Senate and the White House, if there was something on Trump, and Trump runs for president 3 times, you don't think that during any of those campaigns against Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris that they wouldn't have leaked that to the press in about 5 seconds? Of course they would have. So in the end, this is all political death by innuendo. That's what we see in the media coverage and from Democrats trying to imply that Donald Trump did something wrong here. They simply don't have anything. And I think in the end, Mark, there's going to be a boomerang effect. We're already seeing it with Democrats that were involved with Jeffrey Epstein, with one literally texting Epstein, a known convicted sex offender at the time in 2019, Stacey Plaskett, texting him at the time just to try to get dirt on Donald Trump during a congressional hearing. Does not look good for them at all.
And you're right. The Democrats are popping up as involved in it and so forth and so on. And but the media love this. You know, the president is more available than any president really in history to the press, and that they always hit the Epstein stuff. And there's some of these Republicans, too, who really are loathsome to me. They should know by now. They play right into this. There's some fake MAGA guys who want more and more hits. They've been playing into this all summer long. It's an absolute disgrace and an absolute distraction. Now, what should not be a distraction is what the Democrats, the Biden regime, Obama before him, what they've done to this country with enormous power, the power of the Justice Department, the power to have grand juries, the power to indict, the power to influence public thinking and the public decision. And now all this hideous attack on Donald Trump we see is a poison that is spread to the Republican Party generally. House members, Senate members, lawyers, consultants, a war on Trump, a war on the Republican Party, a war on this country that was under the radar. Now it's out in the open, and now the media are running around with their thumb stuck up their nose.
I mean, this is stuff right out of the Soviet KGB, Mark. I mean, here's what we know. Democrats spied on President Trump. They spied on Speaker Johnson. They spied on other speakers of the past as well, like a Kevin McCarthy, for example. Multiple members of Congress. And you know, moving forward, as we dig into this more, that we're going to find out that more espionage was used here. And the most disturbing part is a company like Verizon aided and abetted it secretly. I mean, Christopher Wray, the former director at the time, or the director at the time, when all this was happening, all these subpoenas, he needs to be hauled back in front of Congress. We need answers. Merrick Garland, who was once portrayed as a moderate who Barack Obama wanted on the Supreme Court, he should be hauled in front of Congress, not tomorrow, not next week, like now. And obviously, Jack Smith, he's already agreed to testify. Because you have high-ranking members, you mentioned Jim Jordan before, saw Verizon, tell the Biden Justice Department not only who Jordan was calling, but who was calling him, who was texting him, and even provided location details. And then a judge signed off on this and said that, well, we're going to keep this information from Jim Jordan, who was only the chair of the House Judiciary Committee. They said that he was a flight risk. I mean, what did they think he was going to do? Fly off to Venezuela to avoid extradition? And I'm willing to bet, as we dig deeper into this, that we're going to hear about individual conservative members of the media being surveilled as well. Maybe even you, Mark. I mean, would that shock you? Because I wouldn't be shocked.
Somehow they got 13 of my private emails, which, by the way, were perfectly lame. And to this day,
Really?
I don't know how they got 13 of my private emails, but I want to pursue this with you. We'll be right back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.